Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Colin Abrams with the HGP Sportscast. A total of 18 athletes will represent Guyana at the Carifta Games 2018 over the weekend in the Bahamas. As the athletes prepare to storm the Carifta Games this year and even bring home a few more medals than last year, they were given some well wishes by members of the association. The Bahamas will host the Carifta Games for the 8th time on March 30 to April 2. The Games will bring together some 500 athletes and 150 team officials from 26 countries, all among the best in the Caribbean. President of the AAG wished the athletes good luck and urged them to represent well at the Games. He further stated that a number of businesses have forwarded their support for the athletes and that the association is very delighted for the assistance.
Now, this would not have been possible if it wasn't for the kind sponsorship and generosity of some major entities. First of all, I must thank the government of Guyana, who came on board in a major way in taking care of a major portion of the tickets for most of these athletes that were traveling. I think there was a little miscalculation because we kind of forgot the ones that are traveling from overseas. But we would have gotten some help in that direction as well. We have the US-based sports organization that would have contributed to moving 3 athletes from the USA to the Bahamas. And now Mr. Black and his group, through Payless, is contributing in a meaningful way to the athletes' per diem. And the Guyana Olympic Association as well would have come in with a check of $800,000. This goes directly towards the Games levy.
The Guyana Committee of Services Vice Chairman Lyndon Jones also handed over an undisclosed amount of money to each athlete who will be headed to the Games. Coach Niall Stanton said preparation was great and they expect greatness this time around.
In terms of the expectations, I think the expectation is very high. Also coming from myself, being given the opportunity to be a part of this team and work with this team, I'm pretty much excited. I've been around this sport as an athlete and as a coach and now the owner of a coach, and have this opportunity to be with this team. I will bring my little knowledge that I have, and we're expecting to do really good things over this weekend in Bahamas.
For the HGP Sports, Colin Abrams. President of the Ghana Judo Association says he has no problem with Darren Elcock joining the association, but the Guyanese-based Canadian says otherwise. Stanford Howard has the details.
At a press conference held on Tuesday, Canadian-based Guyanese judo champion levied allegations that the president of the Judo Association and associated members were giving him a hard time to make the switch from the Canadian national team to the Guyanese Association.
I've been kind of getting a little hard time with the current executive of the Guyana Judo Association. Just making it difficult for me to switch over from the Canadian national team to represent Guyana. And they have, it's kind of funny because they don't really have any athletes on the team or competing at the world level, yet they're making it very difficult for me to represent them, even though I already represent the national team. So I don't necessarily have to fight for Guyana, but I would like to. They're just making it difficult.
What was the communique about?
The initial contact what I had with them was a letter from my coach in Canada outlining who I was, my results, what I've been doing for the last 15 years. And they were very welcoming in the email that we had, but it's just our interactions in person has been different. They've made very poor efforts in facilitating me fighting for Guyana, and it don't really seem as though it's set up for the best to benefit everybody in the sport. It seemed like it's more to benefit their group.
Elcock had also said the process was simple to do.
Resistant to me joining the Guyana Judo Association, and just kind of seemed to have a lot of excuses why certain things didn't happen. And it just, like, to get me to switch over to Guyana, it's really a very simple process. All I need to do is a letter comes from president of the Guyana Judo Association, he sends an email to the International Federation for Judo, and they check back with the Canadian Federation that I am who I say I am and that I'm released from them. Man, it's simple like that. And they kind of give me a lot of excuses that...
When HGP Sports interviewed the president of the Guyana Judo Association, Rahul Archer, on Wednesday, he has refuted the claims and relayed to us the current situation between the association and Mr. Alicock.
Now, Darren Alicock made contact with the Guyana Judo Association about 2 weeks ago, I average, can't remember exactly offhand. And his interest was to come over from the Canadian to the Guyana Judo Association, which we have no objection, no problem at all. We never did it before. He said he just want to go to represent Guyana at the Olympics coming up. We have no objection. I'm the president, no problem at all. The first meeting we had, he came with his father. He said he leaving Guyana, he was 7 years old, he come back now, he's 22. I said, okay, he come with his father and his manager. And his word was to me specifically, he don't want nothing from the government, he don't want no assistance from the government, he want no assistance from the GOA, he don't want no assistance from the Guyana Judo Association. He said his father will do all the financing, all what he need to be done. All he needed to do is just to put him to the IJF so he could represent the country. That's all he asked for. So I said, no problem, we're willing to help you. Just let you get the information that is required from the Canadian thing. All he send the information to the Guyana Judo Association pertaining to his yeah, this all he never sent nothing more than that. And immediately we start processing it. So that situation where it's in our hands or we prevent him or stuff, nothing of the sort. Absolutely nothing of the sort. But to this to go through, you have to have a process of going through it. And we have no control over the process. We do our part. He gave us the information we give to we send it to the IGF. That's all he did. I put him on to the secretary of the Guyana Judo Association in the presence of his friend, and the man his cousin, the man his family. So we have no objection, no problem, not with Darren to go into the KCB.
Reporting for the HGP Sports, I am Stanford Howard.
As the Guyana national cricket teams make their way across the Caribbean to represent Guyana, the national female under-19 team departed on Thursday. The reigning champions, who defeated Trinidad and Tobago in the final round of the 2017 tournament, journey to Trinidad, where they will begin their mission to retain the female under-19 Invitational Regional Tournament title. The team is as follows. Guyana will host Bermuda, Barbados and Suriname in May 2018 as the campaign for the CONCACAF Caribbean Women's Qualifiers is set to commence with 23 participating teams. Guyana has been placed in Group E and will be one of the 5 host nations, including the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and Antigua and Barbuda. The Women's Development Officer of the Guyana Football Federation, Tricia Monroe, said consistent playing time is the focus of the senior national women's team. She said in a release, "I am extremely happy that Guyana will be hosting Group E and our senior women's team will have the opportunity to play international football. Women's football in Guyana is still in its developmental stage, but we are looking at the CFU Women's Challenge Series tournament in April as a means of preparation for this major tournament." The final qualifier group stage for the Caribbean region is scheduled for August, with the finals of the 2018 CONCACAF Women's Championship set for October in the United States of America. According to CONCACAF, the tournament will employ a round-robin format, and the top 3 teams from the final group stage will qualify for the championship. The 23 participating teams will form 5 groups, 3 groups of 5 and 2 groups of 4 for the group stage. After a round-robin play, the group winners will advance to the final group stage of 5 teams. The top 3 teams from this final group will qualify for the CONCACAF Women's Championship. And that has brought us to the end of this edition of the HGP Sportscast. Before we go, remember, life is like a sport. Always remember to play fair. Goodbye.